Hey, link me those Soul of Thunder on Facebook. Okay. So, I'm definitely going to get into playing more fan videos because you know what? I can't have all the fun. And quite frankly, I like a lot of them. Anyway, so let me play. I'm going to play this video by Christian Smith just as a reminder for those of you who missed Gman's exit, because I find it interesting that he ended up making, what is that, his little mini series when he needs to feel like he's a big boy. I can't remember what he calls it. There we go. This one. Videos, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, the Put Up or Shut Up series, where he tries to call people out. I think he was calling out Kyle.
If the person that I call out does not come in here, I will be deleting this video when I'm finished. I'm in my pajamas. Like, I literally was getting ready to go to bed until I got to watch that. Arguably the quickest debate in history. You know, Church One Paris, I mean, Vecco had a pretty fast one on Debate Talk for You, but this
is sad. This is when you know you don't have a life. Jeez. Yeah, this is just crazy. Like, you can tell. Like, I spent up last night. I was up late last night. I was talking to Sister Cherry. For those of you who want to know. So after talking to Sister Cherry, and actually informing her as to what's been going on and what Gman has been kind of missing, she has removed herself from this nonsense. So you guys don't have to worry about Gman continuing to try and recruit other people. Incidentally, it was Sister Cherry who contacted him after his misrepresentation of Jade, and that's Sister Cherry wanted the discussion initially, not knowing that Gman had misrepresented her. So she has been informed, and she is removing herself from this nonsense. So rest assured that you know, Gman's path of damage is being mitigated by people behind the scenes. So I did stay up late last night to try and do that, not to boast on the internet like some people need to. But you know what? That's cool. Yeah, it's, you know what? It's Sister Cherry is a nice person, so I didn't want to see her get dragged into this unnecessarily, because you know, it's Sister Cherry has just been informed late last night. I don't know if she's spoken to Gman last night at all. I honestly don't know. We spoke, you know, probably less than 30 minutes about this issue, informing her as to what Jade's life actually is like, and that Gman is not a freaking psychic. So Gman did Put Up or Shut Up, calling people out. Oddly enough, Gman, I've never been the target of this Put Up or Shut Up. So if you want to actually have a challenge instead of running away from me, you should make one and let me know, since you seem so keen on blowing up my phone from your other number, which I've now blocked. But there are other ways. I have a Skype. I definitely have a Skype. You definitely have my Skype information. So there are ways you can get in contact with me. But anyway, for those of you who missed this, let me show you G-Man's courageousness, because mind you, he takes on 5 or 6 growling, snarling Black Hebrew Israelites, but he's a tough guy. He's a tough guy. Remember this. Keep that in mind, because he keeps telling us.
I've been doing the same thing at the same time. I got some quick words for you on my main channel, dude.
I'm going to interrupt for just a second, because I could have sworn. That's what I fucking thought. That's what I fucking thought. Thank you, Rev, for that. I will definitely take her out this weekend. Well, so that was a video by Christian Smith, folks. So this other video that I'm going to play is not actually from G-Man's channel, not this time. This is a short video, and it just so happened to pop up in my feed. Love you too, Rev. Mrs. D is on her way to work right now, so you're not going to see her. She's probably listening in the car, but she's not going to be typing. So this is an oldie but goodie. Oh, let me give credit. Careful Atheist, who has cropped up in the last few weeks, made this back in 2014. So Enjoy.
My name is Gman. I have a YouTube channel.
Now, what's your name? What's your name?
My name is Gary.
Okay, Gary.
He just doc dropped himself, folks. Why did he just doc drop himself?
Now, Gary. Now, what school of theology or whatever? What is your religious background? What is your educational background as far as the scriptures go?
I'm a Christian.
I say, what is your educational background? I didn't ask you what your religion is. I asked you what your educational background is, since you in here wanting to discuss the scriptures with me.
Okay, we're going to respect her when it comes to spiritual things. I don't like talking about things if you don't.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. How do you? What you mean? Are you a minister?
I am a minister.
Okay. Now, what is your schooling? What is your background?
I'm an evangelist here on YouTube. I'm also a Christian apologist here on YouTube.
All right. Now, are you a minister?
I am a minister.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Are you a minister?
I am a minister.
Okay.
So let's look at this for a second, folks. Before this, so to be an actual minister, you choose a denomination. You get a bachelor's degree, which I could have sworn most colleges have a bachelor's in divinity of some sort. And then let's see, 3, graduate from a divinity school. So you actually need to get a bachelor's degree, then go get another degree specifically for divinity. And then you become an ordained minister. We're still waiting on that degree from Rutgers that might not be from Rutgers. That might be 2 years. It might not be a year and a half. It might be 1 year. Okay. Wow. Okay. So, man. Woo, man. You gotta, what? I do some pretty good videos, but I think that the fan, like the shorts that really show Gman in his prime. Those are the best videos. Those are the just short ones that show, what? He's being dishonest. I mean, there aren't really any better videos other than just putting it out there on blast. Like, geez. So, if he means minister by the person who professes a particular belief loud enough, then sure, then he's a minister by that. He's preaching to the prior ministries. So, interesting conversation I had last night. So, there's also Doctor's Divinity Bachelor. Oh, okay, cool. So, yeah, you actually need to have an education. So, mind you, folks, when if you've ever seen Dr. Kenny Rhodes, he's from Reasons to Believe. He's with Hugh Ross. He's with Fuzz. There we go, Fuzz Ron. I'm having a brain fart this morning. Hey guys from Reasons to Believe. They've been around. They've been kicking around. They kind of watched this, but Gman got into it with Mr. Dr. Kenny Rhodes. Now Kenny Rhodes, well-educated man. He wanted to try and ascertain Gman's level of education. So, how many of y'all actually remember what Gman said to him when he went? Well, Gman, it's because he can't start scratching his head. He's like, what? When you're trying to exegete and eisegete, and I don't think you can spell those words, but whatever, something's not right here. So Gman, what kind of education do you have? I'm just curious. How many courses have you taken? Specifically, how many courses has he taken in theology, as it's pertinent to this topic. Gman says 66. Now, as soon as he said 66, I kind of knew where he was going. 66. How many of y'all in the chat remember what he said specifically? What? 66. Come on, y'all should know where he was going with that. 66 books of the Bible. Yep. It was a quick moment. Not too many people caught it. I cannot remember if it was on my channel or somebody. No, it was on Gman's channel. Yeah, there we go. Books. There we go. So some people remember. I'm jogging memories. It's still early. So, oh, she did reply to my email. Good. So when asked, how many courses have you taken in theology? He replies with 66. One for each book of the Bible, presumably. Gman has no formal education. He barely graduated out of high school, as you can tell. But here's a guy on multiple occasions who has told people who are educated, mind you, I disagree with him, just the God concept, whatever, but I can't tell them that I understand the Bible better than them. You ever notice that about me and about certain other folks, that even though we disagree, we don't like malign them by way of telling them that their education in this topic is somehow like null and void. But that's something Gman, as you've seen, Gman will, thanks MP, Gman will make up titles for himself. Gman will create new standards for himself, but he won't actually say, no, I have no formal education. He cannot bring himself to say that. Does it hurt? Does it sting? It hurts the soul. No, stupid Christians, no, it hurts us. Why? Education hurts us. Stupid. It must hurt Gman to actually speak to educated people. It must really hurt him. It must physically hurt him. That voice is actually hard to make. It takes, yes, that's Smeagol, by the way. Yes. I can't change my voice to sound like other people, but I can change it to sound like inhumans and animals and stuff. Fun fact. But this is nonsense. Jeez. It's like, man, I can't really put my finger on it. I can't put my finger on why the people he disagrees with have to be maligned in that way. Because there are plenty of people that I disagree with who have more education than me on the topic, but trying to pull the educational rug from under them isn't what I guess my style of argumentation. I guess that's the hard part for me, because to me it's like, well, you know what? That's a challenge, but that's a gap. My education and theirs, my knowledge and theirs, that's a gap I need to try and close little by little. But it's not going to be won by trying to point out flaws or corrections. So that's kind of the odd part for me personally. Because G-Man knows he can't actually compete with someone and not. There's no arena that G-Man can compete intellectually speak. There's just let's not kid ourselves. Let's not kid ourselves. There's no way in hell or heaven or limbo or Tartarus or purgatory or any other mythological place that G-Man's going to compete with anyone intellectually speaking. It's not going to happen. Ain't going to happen. So, what he must do is malign people's education. Now, you can malign as a good Christian man. Sure, go ahead and malign atheists and scientific education, because I'm actually glad you will be nowhere near anyone that will be in the annals of scientific history. I'm so lucky for that. But for the Christians who spend their time in their life, decades studying theology because they actually believe this stuff and they just don't want to use it as a shield from criticism, it means something to them. They spent their money, to say, well, you know what? I take my faith so seriously that I want a formal education, not just rely on my own understanding. I could have sworn there was something in Proverbs about that. Whatever. But I want to make sure that when I am exegeting, I'm not eisegeting. I want to make sure that when I talk about cultural context, that is relevant to that culture. When I try and understand this term in the Bible, it's meant like this. Because people who take their theology really seriously do that. You know why I come to this conclusion? Because I talk to people. I talk to all kinds. I get a chance to talk to people I disagree with. And I've come to learn a lot about people that I've seen on the periphery. And I've come to appreciate a lot of them. Especially members of SOG, SEAL Squad, and the like. Because I didn't understand what they were doing. But they're doing a service for their communities. Because people, why these guys making rap videos and stuff like that. You know what? They're having the most fun out of any of us on here. But they're also trying to curb very, very malicious behavior and a trend that they see happening in their communities. And I applaud them for that. But what they don't do is make it about themselves. If there's one thing that I've learned over the last few months, trying to peer into this weird realm of the folks that I call the Hebrew Israelites, the Black Power Rangers, understanding them, I have to learn from the people who are actively engaging them. It's crazy, right? So one of the people, Vocab Malone, I did not know that this man has a master's in divinity. I had no idea. He takes his religious beliefs so seriously, he went and got a master's of divinity. And so he acts as kind of a go-to for a lot of these folks. For Sister Cherry, for Faithful, for Surreal, for a number of people. And so in that role, he has taken the position of almost a guru of sorts. But again, that's something that's admirable. What I learned from discussing things with these people, mind you, that I disagree with, is that Gman had a certain disdain for Vocab Malone. I'm like, why? If this guy, that Gman's a part of this group, why would you have disdain toward this guy who acts as your guru? If people want to understand the cultural context of some type of passage, to understanding certain, if there's an issue with the Bible concordance of certain scriptures, you might want to defer to the guy who has the most education. I would think so. If I was a Christian, that's what I would do. And that's what other people in the group do. Gcon. Gcon, as is well understood, he's deep into Egyptology and the history and stuff like that. But Vocab Malone has another arena that he specializes in. So then they can play off of one another. But that takes years of reading and dedication. Again, people I disagree with, I acknowledge the effort that they put in to understand the text, because they're just not here to wear the cloak or the mask of Christianity. They're here to live by the values. And that shows. That shows, what is it, in their fruits, in their behaviors. Because one of the very, very telling things about a man's character, one of the things that I look for in a man's character that sets boys apart from men is the ability to introspect. And so when I talk to them, I listen intently, because I know that these guys are actually serious about what they're trying to do, because it has a direct impact on the communities that they reside in. And that the reason Gman was expelled from this organization was because he was toxic. He goes against the grain of what they were trying to accomplish. If they're holding themselves to a standard, having a loose cannon who can't control himself is not efficacious toward that goal. Point blank, period. It is what it is. But let me get back to something that I mentioned before about maligning other Christians' education, because we just heard G-Man call himself a minister even though he has no formal education, which, okay, you shouldn't be bearing false witness. I was informed that G-Man had this weird disdain for...
Whatever. I met this guy in person. He's not all that.
Uh-oh.
He does a lot of
He's
this.
sad.
I can show you. He's one of the biggest pussy cats on the internet.
Okay.
He is a wimp. All right. So.
Folks, he's having a sad.
I am the link. Let me give him the link.
He's sad.
Right now, if you're watching this, all I need is your email account. Wait a minute, it's like gasoline.
Gasoline Dreams.
Gasoline.
Well, let's see if I can type it in. There we go.
You can't get it done that way.
Let's see if it stayed in the chat.
Can't do it that way.
Nope. I'm still
This
blocked.
is what we'll do. We'll go back on Google Plus and we'll give him the link.
So, as you guys saw, I just typed in my email address, and this genius hasn't unblocked me from his channel.
As a matter of fact, I got him on my email. I'll give it to him. I'll give him the link that way.
Someone's having a sad.
Now, I'm going to get ready for his excuses. He was in the middle of doing a show. Therefore, he couldn't come on here.
Well, I don't see a link.
Let me go to his channel right now. Oh, he's actually watching this, so he knows I'm trying to get him the link.
So, how about you
This is
unblock
even
me, you
better.
genius,
Now
so
he's
I can
without
get the link.
excuse. Now, let me go to my email and get that for him, all right? Let me give him the link, because this coward who fears the ground I walk on
Oh, I
will
fear
not come in
him.
here. All
That's
right?
cool.
So
I didn't know
let me
that.
give him the link. Now, ladies and gentlemen, remember, he called me out, and I showed up on his YouTube channel and embarrassed him in front of his wife. Let's
Oh,
see if
man.
this guy actually comes in here and actually deal with me on my channel.
My wife was
All right?
so embarrassed for
I am
me.
not somebody that you want to play with here online.
Oh,
all right?
no.
So let's see something here. Let's give him the link. Make sure I give him a little private message.
I got a little time.
Because I unblocked him.
Oh,
There
he's...
we go, Drag Boy. There you go. Drag Nut is about to get the link.
Let's see, folks. Let me refresh my
I wish I could
Bluetooth.
show you guys my email, but I can't. A bunch of personal stuff on here.
Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm about to go
Okay,
on,
Drag
folks.
Nut,
This should
you
be
have the
fun.
link. You have no excuses, sir. And I will take a picture of this on my phone so that people can see that I actually gave you the link. I sent it to you.
I see
don't know
it.
if this is your
It's here.
personal email or whatever, and he just saw it. I want him to bring his GI Joe one.
Oh, how are you? Oh, well, I see that your balls have grown back. Man, when did that happen? Oh, cool. So now you're going to pretend to be a tough guy. Man, that's so awesome. So did you just find testicles by the time that you ran from me last time? Or how did that happen? Did they come through Amazon? Cool. Oh, yeah, of course. One of us is going to graduate school and the other stacks barrels, so I think I kind of do. Sure, sure, sure. By a cancer researcher. Sure, go ahead. Oh yeah, I'm still alive. Do you want me to end it? Sure. Okay, so folks, go watch G Man's channel while I teach this dude a lesson. All right, cool.